There's something you don't see every day. A fucking great big tank.
Hello everyone, my name is Jag and welcome to Tanks in Strange Places. Today we're going to be taking a look at some tanks in places where they shouldn't belong. They don't really reside, it's not their natural habitat. So let's take a look at that T-34, see what's going on there. Okay then, so this T-34 is in a place called Stompy's Garden. It was put there in 1995 by a property developer after he was told by the council that no, you can't build property there. Obviously, slightly annoyed by that, he went and plonked a T-34 there and pointed the gun in the direction of the council building. And it's been there ever since. Nowadays, it's known as Stompy Garden and it's a community project for artists and gardeners alike. Also, they follow me on Twitter, so that's cool. I'm followed by a trucking tank. Get in. Right, so the next tank I've got to show you today is a Covenanter that was dug up from a field, a wine estate at that, called Denby's. It was buried there in sort of 1940s. As you might imagine, that's when the war was on. Surprising they didn't sort of scrap them and melt them down for other tanks, but there we are. Very cool to see, and apparently they're getting restored, which is a bit mad looking at the state of them. This particular one here that we can see, not in the best of shapes, is it? But, you know, I fully support it. The wheels are spinning, so that's a good sign. But yeah, imagine that, only a wine estate and there's just tanks there. How cool? How cool is that? Alright, and I'd be surprised if you haven't heard the next one. This here is a Panther that was found in a man's garage. It took about 20 soldiers and almost 9 hours to extract the tank, which is not the most efficient. I thought these Germans were quite the efficient folk. Local prosecutors were tipped off about the cellar's contents by colleagues in Berlin. That's the grasses. You don't snitches get stitches, son. They nicked his Panther. He also had a Pack 88 in there as well in his garage, which is quite an impressive garage. Probably a more formidable one than mine. I mean, I've only got a couple of BMX bikes in mine, so yeah. I want his garage. And now on to the next tank. Let's take a look at this.
A rare World War II tank has been discovered under mud in the Warta River in eastern Poland. The British-made Valentine is a unique find since there are no other preserved examples anywhere in Europe.
Whoa, hold on. There's no other Valentines. Give me a second. I don't believe this. You're telling porkies, love. There we go. Check this out. Let's have a look. Does it move? Doesn't really matter, does it? I'm not really convinced by her, to be honest. I reckon she's on a mad one. She's been out night before with the boys, having some bevies, knocking it back, and she forgot her script, so she was making it up on the day or something. But that there is pretty convincingly a Valentine. That to me looks like a Valentine. Alright, let's see what she's saying then.
The tank, which served in the Red Army, is thought to have sunk in 1945 while crossing the frozen river.
I mean, we can't take her word for any of this, can we? She doesn't know what she's talking about, so how do we know we can believe anything else? Anyway, that's a Valentine tank, yay, in a bog. I tried not to include too many tanks in bogs because there's like hundreds of videos of T-34s and KV-1s getting pulled out of bogs, as well as some Stugs and some things like that. So, I try to avoid them because otherwise it's not in strange places. But Valentine, I mean, it's Lend-Lease, of course, so it's to be expected to be in Russia, but they were in a smaller number than obviously T-34s, so that's why I chose this clip. Anyway, next. So next up, we have tanks in a location called the Golan Heights. Now this was a conflict fought in the 1970s, but I mean, look at it, it's still using World War II gear, and that's why I chose this one. Just because in World War II, battles weren't really fought here, but in the 1970s they were apparently. You've got some Panzers and you've got some Centurions and things like that. So all very interesting, and I'm surprised no one's nicked it and tried to flog it off on the internet, because if I lived around that way, I certainly would. There's a Stug. The Centurions are pretty impressive. I mean, it's kind of like they cut off half the tank here, which I find quite funny. I do like Centurions, they're one of my favourite tanks in real life. Yeah, kind of sad to see, but also a little bit funny at the same time. It's half a tank. Right then, so unsurprisingly, tanks don't really end up in strange places. They're quite big and quite unmissable. As I said, I tried to avoid the ones in bogs because they're in plenty. Maybe I'll make another video just dedicated to tanks found in bogs. But let me know what you thought of this video. First one with the face cam in a while, and yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.